Illinois Public Media News, this is 217 Today. I'm Kimberly Schofield. It's Monday, September 16th. Coming up, we'll listen to a conversation with Champaign Police Chief Timothy Tyler about the impact of violence on the community and officers. That story in just a few minutes, but first, these headlines. Doctors at the University of Illinois are responding to a rise in respiratory ailments since students arrived for the fall semester. IPM student reporter Anna Coe explains.
The university tells students in an undergraduate newsletter that free COVID test kits are available for students. And later this month, McKinley Health Center will provide free walk-in flu shots in multiple locations across campus. McKinley Director Awais Wade says COVID and flu cases are surging since students return to campus. So getting the flu shot now may prevent missing important events later.
Our tagline this year is never miss a memory by getting the flu shot, because we know of so many students who get sick with the flu during midterms or finals, or they are sick with the flu, they cannot go to the football game, or they cannot go for a social event at their friends. This is all because they did not take the flu shot.
Wade says if you experience COVID or flu symptoms, staying at home will help de-escalate the spread of illness. Anna Coe from IPM News.
Several states are instituting special labeling requirements or even bans on lab-cultured or cultivated meat. That's despite the fact that mass production of such meat products is still years away. Jim Meadows reports.
Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen announced new rules last month requiring special labeling for lab-cultured meat. The Republican, who is the state's biggest pork producer, is also asking Nebraska lawmakers for a ban.
Fake meat, petri dish meat, lab-grown meat, bioreactors, to just sit back and hope that doesn't happen. Hope's not a very good strategic decision.
Cultivated meat is already illegal in Florida and Alabama and subject to special labeling in Iowa. Officials often cite concerns for livestock producers. Proponents of cultivated meat say growing global demand will require that meat come from both livestock and the lab. I'm Jim Meadows, IPM News.
In football, the Fighting Illini blew out Central Michigan University during their homecoming game on Saturday. The final score, 30-9. The U of I seemed to struggle in the first half of the game, leading with only one touchdown. However, history was made in the last few seconds of the first half as kicker Ethan Mikulski made a 59-yard field goal. It's a school record he reflected on after the game.
It's pretty awesome. It was my first college field goal ever, so It's pretty awesome. It felt pretty smooth, and I knew right as it left my foot that thing was going in, so I was like, let's go.
The last time the Illini were 3-0 to start the season was in 2011. Next up, Illinois will play the Nebraska Cornhuskers in Lincoln Saturday. Still to come, we'll listen to a conversation with Champaign Police Chief Timothy Tyler about the impact of violence on the community and officers. That story is coming up next on 217 Today. But first, meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your forecast.
I'm meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your IPM News forecast for Champaign-Urbana. For today, look for sunny skies with a high of 88 degrees and an east wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies with a low of 58 degrees, a northeast wind 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 86 degrees, a northeast wind 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with a low of 56 degrees, a northeast wind 5 miles per hour. And for Wednesday, sunny with a high of 85 degrees and a northeast wind 5 miles per hour.
Next time on the 21st Show, a conversation about foreign policy in this year's presidential election. We'll talk with 3 Illinois-based experts on Eastern Europe on what difference a Harris or Trump administration would make for America's role in the world and our safety at home. I'm Brian Mackey. That's next time on the 21st Show. Join us.
You're listening to 217 Today. I'm Kimberly Schofield. Central Illinois is still reeling from a violent summer. In July, 2 teenagers were injured in a double shooting in Champaign. Then just days later, 2 18-year-olds were shot and killed in an unrelated incident. IPM's Kennedy Vincent recently interviewed the police chiefs of Champaign and Urbana. Today, Champaign Police Chief Timothy Tyler talks about the impact of violence on the community and officers and how the city is trying to turn it around.
I've been in law enforcement for 31 years, 31. And the hardest conversation I've ever had is when I had to talk to the mothers from the organization Cry for Help. And I wanted to fix their problems. I wanted to get them justice. I want to get them justice. And I want to bring their kids back. But it's such a long process. Until you have actually sat in the room with 7 or 8 mothers of their kids they can't bring back, it's horrible. So with our 2 teenagers being killed, shot on Colleen Drive, and then the 2 that we lost that horrible, horrible night, that Sunday morning, I would never forget the mom and the anguish and the dad and the pain and almost 200 community members that flocked to the hospital and was just crying in the rain.
After the media attention goes away, how do police officers make continued efforts to make things right for families that have been directly hurt from the violence and trauma?
We're there. I'm pretty sure the police department is going to be upset with me after I explain what they do. When something major happening with some of our community members, our police officers, they go in their pockets. I remember a bad situation where a 5-year-old was abused, and it was his birthday the next day. Besides the tears that they dropped for this 5-year-old kid, they all reached in their pockets, went to the hospital with him, stayed at the hospital with him, and the next day they gave him the biggest 5-year-old birthday that you could ever have. That's the part that I know, because this department, my department, the city's department, they don't want to be recognized for that because, one, they're just human beings. And so every opportunity they give to pour into community members. I remember the year that I got here, a young 5 or 6-year-old had been shot. Again, they all, without any direction from the police chief or anything, made sure that that kid was celebrated. And they keep in touch with these children throughout their whole life. So we're trying on our part, and I hope they're not upset with me for telling how big their heart is. But people need to know that story, too. They need to know that they cry. So what we're doing with our department is we're building that mental health program for our department. We've brought in guest speakers. We've brought in training. So if I can do anything on this show today, I would just ask for the community members, pray for police. Like, we need it more than ever. It's a tough job. This is my last police job. I've seen a lot.
In Champaign?
Yes, more than what I thought I was going to see.
The city of Champaign started a gun violence prevention program in February of 2022. Can you tell us a bit about that?
So I came to the city with over 29 years of experience in law enforcement, federal, state, and local before I got here. Our city, the city of Champaign, and the leaders, they put their money where their mouth is. I mean, over $7 million invested in this gun violence reduction blueprint, where not only are we focusing on the root cause, which is the most important, why are we shooting each other, but also sending money to people that need the help. We have meetings that we concentrate on the citizens and their quality of life. But this gun reduction blueprint should be a blueprint for every community.
That was IPM's Kennedy Vincent talking with Champaign Police Chief Timothy Tyler. It is part of a longer conversation about the Black community's relationship with law enforcement following the deaths of Sonia Massey, George Floyd, Michael Brown, and others. Listen for our Dialogue show Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Illinois Soul FM 101.1 and Wednesday at 8 p.m. on AM 580. The podcast is also on YouTube under the Illinois Public Media channel. That's it for today. 2 and 7 Today is produced by Stephanie Mosqueda. Reporting today contributed by Anna Coe, Jim Meadows, Reginald Hardwick, and Kennedy Vincent. Music by the Kilbourne Alley Blues Band. Reginald Hardwick is our news director. I'm Kimberly Schofield. 2 and 7 Today is a production of Illinois Public Media. Thanks for listening, stay safe, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.